Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm back to do another quick review for a video game. Actually, just came out this past Tuesday. No, I lied. It came out Friday, the 13th. The Evil Within 2, for the PS4. Um, I waited for a couple of reviews, not people's reviews. I mean, I trust people's reviews more than I do professional game reviews because they're just sloppy. It seems like most of the time now they're just paid out from these companies to promote games, because I've played games that they've recommended where they've given it like a 9 or a 9.5 or a 4 out of 5 or whatever, and the game is just absolutely terrible. And then there's been other games where they've given like a 7 or an 8, and I'm like, how is this game getting higher than this game? But yeah, I don't trust, like professional game reviews anymore, but I do tend to watch what IGN puts out. I know they're full of crap. But I tend to look to see what they put out and what they give games. And I was really kind of surprised. They only gave it an 8 out of 10. And I was just really surprised by that because the girl that was reviewing it literally had nothing but good things to say about the game. I think she had like maybe a few minor things that were wrong with it. I was expecting at least like a solid 9 out of 10, which was really weird. But that's definitely way too low for this game. So far I'm on the third chapter. I mean, there's no time frame that says how long you've been playing the game. So I'm gonna estimate maybe like an hour and a half that I've been playing so far, an hour and a half, like maybe 2 hours. And so far, from what I can see, it's definitely a lot more colorful than the first one was. I mean, this is still a very dark game, in terms of shadowing, lighting, backgrounds, backdrops, enemy designs, shadows, and everything. It's still a very dark game, but the first one was more. I mean, if you played the first one, you know what I'm talking about. The first one was kind of more bland. Like, it wasn't really, I don't know how to say it. Like, it wasn't really colorful. Like, in terms of everything as a whole, it was a very dark game. Whereas this one seems to have, like, the backgrounds, everything, it seems to have a lot more color to it. It seems to have a lot more life to it, which I really like. The enemy designs so far are pretty nifty. They're pretty cool. It's still somewhat definitely a disturbing game. There's been a lot of I mean, not a lot of jump scares, but there've been a few jump scares so far, in what I've seen. A lot of people keep comparing it to, they say it's a lot like the older Resident Evils and mixed in with Silent Hill. I agree with that to a degree. um, Silent Hill wise, it's more with the psychological factor. I mean, there was one room where kind of like right in the beginning, maybe like 40 minutes into it, where there's bodies hanging from the ceiling and you're going, and every time you move forward, every time you move backward, the bodies will switch. Like, you'll hear things behind you and the bodies will be in different directions hanging. Like, they'll go from just like randomly to like straight lines to like, it's pretty freaky. I mean, the whole atmosphere to this game so far is just awesome. The lighting and the shadows and everything in this game so far, the way they did it, it makes you feel very confined. It makes you feel like you're trapped. And a lot of the backdrops that they did, a lot of the stuff in the background and everything, um, is a little bit. It, it's super creepy. I know there's one scene where like there's all of these pictures and they all have like mouths, noses, some have eyes, but they all pretty much turn to eyes. And I swear to God, it feels like as you're walking and everything, the eyes are actually moving and following you as you're walking. I actually had to stop and actually go back and forth a couple times just to see if that was happening or if it was something that was, like it was one of those one-time things. But yeah, it's so far, guys, it's pretty much the same as the first one. Graphics are a lot more polished in this. Like I said, it seems to be a lot more colorful. Combat seems to be very, very similar from the first one. It seems to be a little bit more fluid than the first one. Combat seems to be a little bit more, I don't know what the word is. It seems to flow a little bit better than the first one did. The first one seemed a little bit choppy in sections. This one seems to flow a little bit better. I mean, I was a huge fan of the first one. I thought the first one was a vastly underrated game. And so far I am absolutely loving the second one. I'm having a blast with it. I mean, like I said, I'm only on chapter 3. Average time to beat the game from what I'm hearing is about like 20 hours. So we'll see how that goes. Pretty much all of the same characters are in it again. I know Kidman is back. Obviously the main character is in it from the first one. But like I said, bottom line, if you're a fan of the first game, definitely pick this game up. They've pretty much everything that a lot of people were complaining about from the first one, they've seemed to fix and address those issues. But I mean, like I said, definitely check it out if you are at all a fan of the first one. It's definitely a solid game, guys. I'll do another review and update you guys further on as I get further into the game. But like I said, I am absolutely loving it so far. I mean, if I had to give it a score so far, I would say it's at least a solid 9 out of 10. I mean, like I said, I'm not far enough into the game yet to make a full on, rating. But like I said, so far, just from what I've seen and everything, it is definitely a solid 9 out of 10. I'm having a blast with it. But like I said, I will check back with you guys later. That's it for now. Hope this at least helped in some way. I will talk to you guys later. Later.